There exists in our universe an amazing power. Like an atom, it's hard to see its shape or form, but we know this power exists by observation. A single blade of grass can somehow push its way through cracks in the sidewalk, and yet is so delicate that a child's fingers can pull it apart. A single drop of rain may not seem like much, but when combined with billions of other drops, the result is the grandeur of the Grand Canyon. The irrepressible ocean tide forces the starfish onto the shore. Occasionally, someone will have the spirit to toss that stranded one back into the sea. That may not seem like much, but it's important to that one starfish. There exists another force, just as dynamic and just as irrepressible: the human spirit. That spirit can be found in Freda Deskin. As a young girl, Freda began walking when she was only 9 months old. The reason is simple. There was a big world out there waiting to be explored. And even as a toddler, she was in a hurry to learn its secrets. Before long, Freda was running, jumping, twisting, and turning, attributes found in basketball, cheerleading, gymnastics, and tennis. The middle child in a family of 5, Freda began earning money to help the family when she was 13. At first, the jobs varied, but they were all very glamorous: waiting tables, selling fuller brushes door to door. But jobs she liked best were the ones where she was able to help others succeed. Rushing to and from practice, participating in sports, and working would have taken the wind out of most students' sails, but other students weren't born in a hurry. Freda also understood the importance of education, and even though her schedule was complicated, she found time to become an honor student, hold the lead role in several school plays, and to participate in a multitude of 4-H activities. In college, she majored in elementary education at Central State University in Edmond, Oklahoma, where again she was an honor student. However, her thirst for knowledge didn't stop there. She enrolled at the University of Oklahoma in secondary education and earned a master's degree. For her efforts, she was recognized as a National Collegiate All-American and was a Scholarship Leadership Program Scholar. At this point, many might have rested on their laurels, but Freda was just getting warmed up. Ahead lay a PhD in Instructional Leadership, a certificate in Strategic Management, postdoctoral courses in finance, and a stint in faraway New Zealand, where she spent time at the Auckland Teachers College. When Freda wasn't in class, she was logging more than 2,500 clock hours in the aerospace sciences from NASA and other space-related organizations. Later, this interest would play a major role in her life and the life of thousands of students. Freda taught in public schools for 15 years. It's fair to say from the moment of her arrival, the faculty and students would never be the same.
In 1976, a tornado came through Pauls Valley to a school named Whitebeak, which was at the edge of Pauls Valley. We've always heard that a tornado could not come into the valley, but one came by the name of Deskin, Freda Deskin, and she came as a teacher in a dependent school district. Freda made more changes than anyone could ever believe in the lives of young children. Freda could make a child believe that they could do anything if they wanted to badly enough, and she could help them do it, and she would make them do it. I will never forget the time that she came into my office, and by the way, she was in my office many times at 6 o'clock at night telling me what we needed to do or what child needed a particular thing. But we were there, and she said, "Linda, those children are going to have to be ready for the workforce. I'm going to throw that arithmetic book away. Would you please get me some more?" Well, I did. And that young lady made some of the best mathematicians that ever came out of Pauls Valley schools. Freda loved her children, the children loved her, and truly she could make a difference in their lives. She made a difference in all of our lives.
Weather folks at the Norman Meteorology Center must have thought a twister was dancing through the countryside as Freda was into everything, always nonstop, curious, and a buzz of energy. Club sponsor, coach, mentor, she taught all levels of school and was tasked with writing local and state grants. Her classroom would serve as a model for other educators. They would often visit just to see what the recipient of the outstanding leaders in elementary and secondary education was doing in her classroom that other teachers were not. Observers were immediately struck by her energy, knowledge, and enthusiasm, traits which proved to be highly contagious. Freda pioneered STEM, S-T-E-M, science, technology, engineering, and math education. Soon, the University of Oklahoma had Freda teaching classroom management, math, methods, and curriculum instruction. She founded the Oklahoma Odyssey of the Mind and coached 3 Oklahoma teams to the World Finals and also sponsored other math competitions. Eventually, she was tabbed as the Dean of Aerospace Science at Oklahoma City University. This was a demanding job, but as always, she was prepared. In 1985, Freda sent in an application, along with 45,000 other educators, for NASA's Teacher in Space project. After a meticulous screening process, she was selected to represent Oklahoma in the project. Freda trained at NASA facilities to become a national semifinalist, one of 20 for the Teacher in Space program. Because of her talent and experience, she has served as a consultant for several national groups, including the National Challenger Center of Space Science Education, Epcot Center, the EAA, and NASA, developing Mars curriculum. Mentoring has always been one of Freda's great passions. This is no surprise since her first mentor was her mother, who taught Freda the importance of believing in herself. Through the coming years, she would pass this invaluable insight on to others. Athletes at the University of Oklahoma benefited from the glow of Freda's encouragement and innovation. Students struggling at the Air Force Academy have found success thanks to her support. She has also served as a mentor for Rwandan, Afghani, and Russian women. Locally, Freda devised a program to work with the Institute for the Economic Empowerment of Women. It matched 15 high school girls with 15 female legislators and 15 local businesses for an intense year of study and growth. In 2000, Freda founded Oklahoma's first startup charter school, the Advanced Science and Technology Education Center, better known as ASTEC. 800 inner-city middle and high school students focus on STEM subjects integrated into the liberal arts. 94% of ASTEC's student body is composed of students from below the poverty level. Still, 98% go on to college. To date, the school has reached more than 5,000 students, but Freda didn't just stop there. She is also the executive director of ASTEC Virtual School, a concept that pioneered virtual learning in Oklahoma. Hundreds of students have received their high school diploma online before going to college. The State Superintendent of Public Instruction invited Freda to be the coordinator of special projects. This simple job title took her all over the state and in front of thousands of students and teachers. She founded and developed the curriculum for the Oklahoma Aerospace Academy, the Ticket to Tomorrow Outreach and Team Quest leadership programs. Even though her days are filled with activities, meetings, emails, text messages, planning sessions, and the countless phone calls from educational and business leaders, she is a contributing member of her community. An active Rotarian, she serves on various volunteer committees. She has sponsored student ski trips, taught Sunday school, and adult aerobics. Freda founded a dynamic nonprofit to help improve high school graduation rates called FYI, For Youth Initiative. This organization brought the Choice Bus to Oklahoma. Inside the bus is a replica of a high school classroom and also a replica of a prison cell, stressing the importance of staying in school and out of prison. Freda's NASA experience helped her to found and hold week-long space camps, complete with a full-scale shuttle and space station. Students loved the hands-on opportunity, and thousands of young people who had never thought of themselves as astronauts discovered what Freda had always known. It's a big world out there. During the next few moments, please follow along as we list Freda's many workshops, keynote addresses, curriculum development distinctions, honors, and awards. They are far too numerous to mention in the short time permitted. From the extensive list of Freda's accomplishments, one certainly merits revisiting. ASTEC Charter School addresses the educational needs of 800 inner-city middle and high school students. Incoming students are required to take a 9-week course in character, manners, and etiquette. The school days are longer than public schools. Parents and students must pick up student progress reports in person. School dismisses early 1 day each week to allow faculty peer coaching, meetings, and technology training. An incentive compensation program allows for teacher pay based on key performance indicators and incentive bonus pay programs. Despite receiving 25% less funding than traditional schools and paying nearly $800,000 in annual rent, the school has maintained a positive carryover of funds each year and was recently selected by Dr. Oz and Continental Resources to be the Oklahoma Health Corps School, a program sponsored by Harold Hamm of Continental Resources.
When Freda came to our school, it was like night and day. She was the teacher that we had been longing for forever. She captivated all of us and would tell us stories, and we would learn by her stories. She was always so excited about something new she'd read or something new that she'd learned, and it, a lot of times it was science-based or it was psychology-based or something that people would, I just remember being fascinated by the things that she would teach us. And she was energetic and funny, and she was a tough teacher, but we all really liked her. And every year we would give her student appreciation awards. We just loved her to death. And we were fortunate, my class was fortunate that we were able to have her for 3 years. So it was awesome. She was full of life. She was a wonderful role model for women, and I just remember thinking, I hope I could be like that someday. So Freda was a good teacher. Was the best teacher I ever had.
Freda has been very influential in my life. She has been a great role model for me. She and my uncle came and got us. My parents were divorced when we were very young. She and my uncle came and got us when my mom had gone back to nursing school, and they came and rescued us in a time of great need. And I lived with her for 5 years. She had me during my formative years, and I probably am the person that I am today and do what I do today because of her. And I work with children every day, and she has instilled in me the importance how important that it is that we do make a difference in the lives of children, and that's what I've always strived to do. I've been in child care for 27 years now, and I know it was because of the foundation that she had given me of how important children are and the difference that we really can make in their lives. And I truly believe that that is one of the reasons that I was put on earth, is to carry on the legacy that she has had with making a difference in children's lives.
Freda probably did more for me than all my teachers combined in my whole school life. She was very, very energetic and inspirational. She basically gave us wings. She made us believe we were smart and believe in the things that we could do. She was fun. She taught us things. She brought things to Whitebead that we'd never had at Whitebead before.
The best thing that has ever happened to me is Freda Deskin. And Freda taking care of me personally and helping me through my struggles in my life and being there. The best teacher, most deserving teacher, most deserving individual that I know and love.
I was a student in Freda's 8th grade class at Whitebead School. It's a very memorable year for me because 8th grade's a transition year, and I was a little bit of an awkward boy, but I was creative, and I've always appreciated the fact that she recognized that creativity and brought it out in me, which I think helped me later as I went to college and started my own businesses and did other professional work. I am appreciative of the opportunity to come to ASTEC and be able to teach alongside her and utilize some of the things that I learned and help these students here. And I like to think maybe I did a little bit of it right, and she helped me along the way, because the first year here as a teacher, I was nominated for Teacher of the Year, and last year I was awarded Teacher of the Year. And looking back over the last couple of years of how I've taught in the classroom, I have to say that I learned a tremendous amount of things from her, and without her, I simply would just not be doing what I'm doing today, and I would not have had the successes that I can claim.
In August 2012, Freda was inducted into the Oklahoma Educators Hall of Fame. She shared her spirit and her version of the starfish story.
Long before I was in NASA, I used the phrase "reach for the stars," telling my students and my son that if they reached for the stars and only made it to the moon, they'd have great experiences and would have gone further than had they not tried. One of my favorite symbols is a starfish, another kind of star. As you know, it's become a symbol for making a difference. And it's based on the familiar story of the silhouetted man on a deserted beach that's throwing starfish into the ocean. When he was told that he couldn't possibly save all the starfish and make a difference, his reply as he threw back another starfish, "I made a difference to that one." The one thing I've learned in my 40-plus years as an educator, that it doesn't take much to make a difference for a child. It really doesn't. It doesn't take that much time to truly change their lives. The greatest secret of being a good teacher or administrator, I believe, is to never forget what it's like to be a child. And that is my goal every day. I know I'm preaching to the choir, so I urge each of you in your way, as you're reaching for your own stars, to take the time, pick up that single starfish struggling in the sand, and make a difference.
From the time she could walk, Freda Deskin has been moving forward, never slowing down, forever placing starfish back in the sea. This presentation began by defining the word irrepressible. We would like Mr. Webster to add to that definition. Irrepressible. Freda Deskin.